Hello, friends. Welcome back to English Unleashed. I'm Tom. Today I'll give you a focused practice piece about school, homework, studying, and university life. Use this as a daily shadowing exercise. Listen, repeat out loud, and copy my rhythm and intonation. Speak clearly, not quickly. The goal is natural, confident English. Start with short, clear sentences. Say each one twice, slowly. I wake up early for school. I pack my bag and check my books. I eat breakfast and drink a cup of tea. The school bell rings and I go to class. My teacher writes the lesson on the board. I listen and take notes. After class 1, do my homework. Homework helps me understand the lesson. I study with a friend and we help each other. Sometimes we practice vocabulary together. I like reading stories in English class. Math class helps me solve problems. Science makes me curious about the world. Art class lets me be creative and calm. I feel proud when I finish an assignment. I correct mistakes and try again. Now let's add more detail. Make each sentence a little longer. Repeat each line twice. On Monday morning, I had a quiz in English and I felt prepared. I met my study group after school and we reviewed our notes. During the weekend, I read an article and learned 5 new words. I use flashcards to remember difficult vocabulary. When exams come, I make a study plan and follow it. If I feel tired, I take short breaks to stay focused. I write 1 paragraph every day to improve my writing. At university, professors expect students to think independently. Many students live in dormitories and share chores and meals. Time management is important to balance study and part-time work. Joining a club helped me make friends and practice English. When I present in class, I feel nervous first, then confident. After a hard exam, I celebrate small successes with friends. Mistakes teach me how to improve my skills and study habits. Okay, now let's put these sentences together into a short natural story. Listen, repeat out loud, and don't worry if you make mistakes. It's part of learning. This is the story. This week I studied for 3 hours every evening. I reviewed vocabulary, wrote short summaries, and practiced speaking in the mirror. On Saturday, I met my friend at the library. We explained topics to each other and solved practice exercises. On Sunday night, I recorded myself describing the week. Listening back, I noticed my pronunciation improved and my sentences were clearer. Small, steady practice made a big difference. You just heard a story about a student named Tom. He studied hard and got good grades. Now let's break down some of the details from that story. When exams come, I make a study plan and follow it. If I feel tired, I take short breaks to stay focused. Let's talk about planning your studies. Do you set goals or make plans? Share with me in the comments. How do you organize your study time? Do you use a planner, calendar, or to-do list? What advice would you give to students who want to get good grades but are easily distracted? I have 2 answers. First, take notes while listening to me now. Second, write a comment below and send me a message. At university, professors expect students to think independently. Do you know the difference between a university and college? In Britain, a university is a place for both college students and graduate students. A college is a place only for college students. Most American colleges are part of a university. A professor teaches at a university and often does research too. They have a PhD. We use professor for someone who teaches at a university. We call someone who teaches at a college professor. However, we can also say professor for someone who teaches at a college. Many students live in dormitories and share chores and meals. Where do students live? Some live at home, others live in a dormitory. A dormitory is a place where many people sleep. Usually students live in dormitories when they go to university. Dormitories often have shared bathrooms and shared kitchens. Students can share rooms with their friends or they can have a single room. Sharing a room with someone else is cheaper. Dormitory rules say that students must be quiet during certain hours, like late at night. We can use the word dorm for short. For example, I went to the dorm to pick up my mail. Can you think of any rules for the dorm? Write them in the comments. Time management is important to balance study and part-time work. Let's talk about balancing study and part-time work. Do you have a part-time job? How do you manage your time? If you are a student without a job, what advice would you give to a student with a part-time job? To balance study and work, I would say keep a schedule. Joining a club helped me make friends and practice English. It's good to join clubs to meet people with similar interests. It's easier to make friends when you have something in common. It's fun to share activities with others. When I present in class, I feel nervous first, then confident. Presenting in class means standing in front of your schoolmates and talking about a topic. Do you ever need to present in class? How do you feel before presenting? Are you excited, nervous, scared? Tell me about it in the comments. How do you prepare for a presentation? Do you practice at home? What advice would you give to a student who is nervous about presenting in class? I would say practice at home, breathe deeply before you start, and smile and make eye contact with the class. After a hard exam, I celebrate small successes with friends. When you finish an exam, it's time to celebrate. You worked very hard and now you deserve some rest and reward. We can celebrate with friends by going to the movies, bowling, skating, karaoke, dinner, or dancing. What do you like to do after a test or exam? Write a comment and tell me. Mistakes teach me how to improve my skills and study habits. Everyone makes mistakes. It's a normal part of learning. When you make a mistake, you can learn how to avoid it in the future. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Be brave and take risks. Try again when you make a mistake. Do you have a favorite subject or activity at school? Why? What did you do during the last weekend? What kind of music do you usually listen to? If you could change one rule at school, what would it be? What did you do to prepare for the last exam? What advice would you give to a younger student? Let's practice making corrections. I'll say a sentence with a mistake and then a corrected version. Repeat after me. I go to the store yesterday. Goed is incorrect. I went to the store yesterday. She have two brothers. Have is incorrect. She has two brothers. He no speak Spanish. No is incorrect. He doesn't speak Spanish. I'm go to the gym now. Go is incorrect. I'm going to the gym now. She was study for the test. Was study is incorrect. She was studying for the test. Listen, repeat out loud, and don't worry if you make mistakes. It's part of learning. This is the story. This week I studied for 3 hours every evening. I reviewed vocabulary, wrote short summaries, and practiced speaking in the mirror. On Saturday, I met my friend at the library. We explained topics to each other and solved practice exercises. On Sunday night, I recorded myself describing the week. Listening back, I noticed my pronunciation improved and my sentences were clearer. Small, steady practice made a big difference. Okay, now I'm going to say this story again a little faster. Listen and repeat out loud. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. This week I studied for 3 hours every evening. I reviewed vocabulary, wrote short summaries, and practiced speaking in the mirror. On Saturday, I met my friend at the library. We explained topics to each other and solved practice exercises. On Sunday night, I recorded myself describing the week. Listening back, I noticed my pronunciation improved and my sentences were clearer. Small, steady practice made a big difference. This story is about Tom and his English study progress. Here are some keywords. Study, vocabulary, pronunciation, sentences, library, practice, mirror, record, describe, improve, small, steady, practice, big, difference. These keywords will help you understand the story. Okay, now let's practice the story together. One more time, listen and repeat out loud. This story is a good practice piece for you, so save this video and review it several times. Each time you will understand more and more. This week I studied for 3 hours every evening. I reviewed vocabulary, wrote short summaries, and practiced speaking in the mirror. On Saturday, I met my friend at the library. We explained topics to each other and solved practice exercises. On Sunday night, I recorded myself describing the week. Listening back, I noticed my pronunciation improved and my sentences were clearer. Small, steady practice made a big difference. Thank you for practicing with me today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe so you won't miss any new videos. Leave a comment and let me know how you're doing. Share this video with your friends. And remember, make a steady effort and you will see big results. See you next time. Hello again, friends. This is Tom from English Unleashed. In Step 1, you practice sentences about school, lessons, and daily routines. Now, in Step 2, we will go deeper. You'll learn sentences about homework, study habits, motivation, and how to grow confidence in English. As before, listen carefully, repeat after me, and shadow the sentences until they feel natural. Speak out loud, even if you are alone. That is the secret to progress. Let's begin with simple, clear sentences. Repeat each one 2 times. I do my homework after dinner. I sit at my desk and open my notebook. I check my assignment list before I start. I finish one subject at a time. I write slowly and clearly. I read the instructions carefully. If I don't understand, I ask my teacher. I use a dictionary to check new words. I practice spelling difficult vocabulary. I review yesterday's lesson before starting new work. Now let's make the sentences longer and more natural. When I come home from school, I rest for a short time and then start my homework. I like to keep my desk clean so I can focus better. Sometimes homework feels boring, but I know it is helping me improve. I make a list of tasks and cross them off one by one. When I finish a math problem, I check the steps carefully. I read aloud while I study because it helps my memory. I use colored pens to highlight important information in my notes. If the assignment is difficult, I divide it into small steps. I practice writing one short paragraph every evening. When I finish my homework, I feel proud and relaxed. Let's now move toward more advanced study habits. These sentences are longer, but they sound natural and useful for university or professional life. I usually plan my study sessions in advance so I don't waste time. Preparing a timetable helps me organize my subjects and manage stress. If I study for too long, I lose concentration, so I take short breaks every hour. Sometimes I record myself speaking English and listen later to check my mistakes. I read articles online and highlight new vocabulary to use in my writing. When exams are close, I reduce distractions by turning off my phone and social media. I practice speaking with a friend and we quiz each other on important topics. Sometimes I study in the library because the quiet atmosphere helps me focus. Writing summaries of long lessons makes it easier to remember the key points. I understand that learning takes time, so I try to be patient with myself. Now let's finish step 2 with a short story you can shadow in full. Last night I had 2 hours of homework. First, I reviewed my English vocabulary. I wrote each word on a flashcard and practiced saying it out loud. Then I worked on a math assignment. Some problems were difficult, but I tried step by step and checked my answers. After that, I read one chapter of a history book and wrote a short summary in my notebook. At the end of my study session, I felt tired but satisfied. I knew that my small efforts would help me succeed in the long run. Here's your challenge for step 2. Write down 3 study habits you want to improve. Practice shadowing this story every day for a week. Notice how your sentences become smoother and more confident. To get step 3, click on the link below. There you will find more sentences, stories, and most importantly, fun activities to help you reach the next level in your English journey. In this video, we talked about studying, but what about socializing? How can you introduce yourself in English? Watch this video and learn how to do it confidently. Starting a conversation in English can be challenging, but there are some simple phrases that can help you break the ice and get the conversation flowing. Here are a few examples of how you can introduce yourself and start a conversation with someone you just met. Hi, I'm Tom. Nice to meet you. This is a very common and polite way to introduce yourself. It's a simple sentence that shows the other person that you are friendly and open to conversation. Hello, my name is. You can also add your name to the greeting to make it more personal. For example, hello, my name is Tom. Nice to meet you. What's your name? This is a very common question to ask when meeting someone for the first time. It is a simple and polite way to start a conversation and learn more about the person you are talking to. It's nice to meet you. This is another common phrase used when meeting someone for the first time. It is a polite way to express that you are happy to have met the person and that you look forward to getting to know them better. How are you? This is a common greeting that you can use to start a conversation with someone you know. It is a polite way to show interest in the person and their well-being. I'm fine, thank you, and how are you? This is a response you can use to the greeting. How are you? It is a polite way to show that you are doing well and to ask the same for the person you are talking to. What's your name? What's your name? This is another question you can use to start a conversation. It is a simple and direct way to ask for someone's name and can lead to further conversation. Nice to meet you. This is a response you can use to the greeting nice to meet you. It is a polite way to show that you are happy to have met the person and that you look forward to getting to know them better. So these are just a few examples of how you can introduce yourself and start a conversation in English. Remember to practice these phrases and be confident when using them. With a little practice, you will be able to introduce yourself and start conversations in English with ease. Do you want to improve your listening skills? Do you want to learn how to understand native speakers easily? Do you want to develop the ability to listen and comprehend spoken English effortlessly? Then try our new service. You can find the link to this service in the description below. This platform offers a variety of high-quality videos designed to improve your listening skills and help you understand native speakers. The best part is that it offers transcripts and a unique feature called Listen and Learn. With this feature, you can listen to a short audio clip and choose the correct words to fill in the blanks. You can also change the playback speed, which is perfect for those who want to learn at their own pace. So, if you want to improve your listening skills and understand native speakers more easily, visit the website and start improving your English today. Finally, if you enjoyed this lesson and found it useful, don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to our channel. If you're interested in learning English with us, you can check out our online English courses by clicking on the link in the description below. Our courses are designed to help you improve your English skills quickly and effectively. We offer a range of courses from beginner to advanced levels, so you can choose the one that suits you best. Hello again, friends. This is Tom from English Unleashed. You've already practiced Step 1 about school routines and Step 2 about homework and study habits. Now, in Step 3, we're moving forward to exams, university life, and your future goals. These sentences are a little longer, a little more advanced, and will prepare you for real academic conversations. Remember, listen carefully, shadow my voice, and speak confidently. Let's begin with clear, focused sentences about exams. I study every day to prepare for exams. I make a study timetable before the test week. I review old lessons to make sure I remember. I write practice questions and try to answer them. I stay calm during the exam and read each question carefully. I check my answers before I submit my paper. Sometimes exams are difficult, but they are a chance to show what I know. I believe hard work gives good results. I celebrate after exams because I know I tried my best. Every exam is a step toward my goals. Now let's add more detail and natural sentences. When exams are near, I prepare a timetable so I can study all subjects equally. I prefer to study in the morning because my mind feels fresh. Sometimes I feel nervous, but I take deep breaths and remind myself I have prepared well. I practice writing essays under timed conditions to build confidence. I solve past papers to understand the exam format. During the test, I manage my time carefully so I don't spend too long on one question. If I don't know an answer, I skip it and return later. After the exam, I reflect on what I did well and what I should improve next time. I remind myself that exams are important, but they are not the only measure of my abilities. Every test teaches me how to be stronger and smarter. Okay, now let's move into university life. These sentences will help you if you are studying at college or planning to go there. At university, students have more freedom but also more responsibility. Professors do not check homework every day, so I must be independent. I often study in the library because it is quiet and full of resources. Many students live in dormitories, which can be fun but sometimes noisy. Group projects are common and they teach teamwork and communication. Some students balance part-time jobs with their studies. Time management becomes very important at university. Joining clubs and societies helps me make new friends. I attend lectures, take notes, and review them in the evening. University life is challenging, but it prepares me for the future. Finally, let's practice advanced sentences about future goals and success. I want to graduate with good grades and make my family proud. I dream of studying abroad and meeting international students. Learning English will give me more opportunities in my career. I know that education is an investment in my future. I want to use my knowledge to help people in my community. Sometimes I feel tired, but I remind myself why I started this journey. Every step, even small progress, brings me closer to success. I believe failure is not the end, but a chance to try again. My goal is not only to pass exams, but also to grow in confidence and skills. I studied today so I can build a better tomorrow. And now let's practice some more natural conversation about your future. What are your plans after high school? I want to apply for a bachelor's degree in business. That sounds exciting. Where do you plan to study? I hope to get into a prestigious university in my country. Why did you choose that one? It has a strong reputation for its business program, and I want to be challenged academically. What about you? Are you going to higher education? I'm still undecided. I'm considering a gap year to gain work experience. What do you think? I believe it can be beneficial, but don't wait too long to decide. Deadlines for university applications are approaching. Do you plan to study locally or abroad? Locally for now. I want to explore opportunities to study abroad in the future. There are so many scholarships available for master's programs. What do you find most challenging about applying to universities? The entrance exams are quite competitive, and I need to perform well to secure a spot in my desired program. I completely agree. The pressure to succeed can be overwhelming at times. How do you manage that stress? I try to stay organized and focus on one task at a time. It helps me break down the process into smaller, manageable steps. That's a great strategy. I also find it helpful to talk to friends who are going through the same journey. Sharing experiences and tips can make a significant difference. Absolutely. The support of friends and family is crucial during these times. I'm fortunate to have their constant encouragement and guidance. It means a lot to know that I can rely on them for support. And now, let's listen to a short story and follow along. Last month, I had final exams at university. I planned a timetable 2 weeks before the tests. Every morning, I studied English by reading articles and writing essays. In the afternoon, I solved math problems and practiced science questions. Sometimes I felt nervous, but I stayed calm by taking breaks and drinking water. On exam day, I arrived early, read the questions carefully, and managed my time wisely. After finishing the exam, I checked my answers twice before submitting. When I passed the exams, I felt proud and motivated. I know that these small victories will guide me toward my dream of graduating and building a successful future. Okay, now it's your turn. Use the clear, focused sentences from the beginning of the lesson to describe a recent exam you took. Then use the longer, more detailed sentences to talk about how you prepared for that exam. Next, practice the university life sentences to talk about your current school or imagined future university. Finally, use the advanced, goal-oriented sentences to discuss your ambitions and dreams for the future. Remember to include details, vary your sentence structures, and use a confident tone. Take your time, enjoy the process, and allow yourself to make mistakes. It's all part of learning and growing. Don't be afraid to experiment with different phrases and find the ones that work best for you. And remember to use the stories and dialogues to inspire and guide you in your own conversations. Keep practicing, keep improving, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Thank you for joining me on this learning journey. Until next time, keep unleashing your potential and achieving your language goals.